Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be doing VEDA day number 2, and today I'm going to be talking about the angels. And I had a request about how to talk to your angels, how to connect with them, connect with spirit guides. I want to talk about my experience and how I began to talk to the angels, and how I connected. Here we're looking at a cover, and it's from Angel Magic. It's by Cassandra Eason, an awesome book on angels. I highly recommend it if you're interested in the angels or working with them. But this is more a book on how to do magic with the angels, and how I began, and I'm going to kind of go over my story, how I started to communicate with the angelic realm. It happened to me actually when I was about, I would say I was like about maybe 19 years old, somewhere around there. And I had a very bad breakup with my boyfriend at the time. And I was so sad. And I remember I was like so devastated because of course, I wanted to be back with him. I wanted to be with him. And I went to Barnes & Nobles, and at that time Barnes & Nobles were starting to come out a lot in the area where I lived. There was only a few stores random around the town, and I had to drive far to go to this Barnes & Nobles because where I lived, it was not very, there was none. So I drove there, and I went to this Barnes & Nobles, and I went to the area of the New Age, and I was looking around, and I was looking for some sort of kind of like, inspiration, like guidance and things of that nature, because I was feeling so sad. And I ran into this really cute little book called Angelspeake. And I'll put the name in the link below, so you can, if you're interested in getting it. It's an old book now. It was written in 1981. Not old, but it's not fairly new. It's been out for a while, and I ran into it, and I thought it was amazing. It's called Angelspeake, and how it says how to talk to your angels. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I never seen that before. And in that time, a lot of books started to, they were slowly but surely, they were starting to come out with books on angels, on the topic of angels. And I said, let me give this a try. I've never ever even thought about talking to my angels. So sure enough, I bought it, and I went crazy to my home to do it. And I read like how to, it's a very simple book. She goes into detail of how to read, how to talk to your angels. And I went home, and I I just read the parts how to do this. It was like a 4 or 5 step process, very simple. It's not complicated at all. It's a very simple process on how to talk to your angels. And all you gotta do is pray, right? The first step I would recommend when you do this is pray. Surround yourself and surround your home with candles. Okay, with candles, with incense. Like if you're inviting them into your home, pretty much. You are, when you want to talk to them. So you're gonna surround your home. If they're coming physically to your home, as if you were to, just like you would when a visitor comes to visit you, you want your home to be nice for them and all that, make them comfortable. So the same thing you would do with the angels. You would prepare your home for them to come over. And I remember I just did that same thing, the same steps. I lit some incense, I lit some candles, and all I remember I wanted to know, and it says ask your question as clearly and as simple as possible. So my main question was, is my boyfriend coming back? That's what I really wanted to know at that time. And they told me, I heard a small little whisper in my ear, and it said, yes, he is. He is coming back. I don't remember exactly the details of the whole thing, but I remember that they told me, yes, he's going to come back to you. He will. I felt in that moment, it was like so amazing, the moment that I felt such a beautiful connection with my angels. I have never ever felt that before in my life, and it was such a celestial connection, and the voice was so beautiful. It was like very light and like a whisper. And they told me that yes, he was going to come back. At the moment, of course, I felt he wasn't. It was like, it looked like it never was going to happen because he was very angry at me. I don't even remember why we had broken up, but you know, and then sure enough, he did come back. But before I get there, you know, they told me to do some rituals. They told me, you know, do this, light these candles. I want you to get these candles in these colors and light them for these amount of days and pray with, you know, this, and that. And I did everything that they told me to do. And sure enough, my life started to change around once I started to communicate with the angels. I started to see blessings come every day. Like, blessings were starting to pour over my house. Like, my family, you know, things were getting better with them. Like, I started to see improvements in my life overall once I started to talk to them more often. And my boyfriend came back. We went back together, and I was like amazed by this miracle in my life, and it was all because of the angels. And that is why I love my angels. I love them. They are so miraculous. And of course, God is the main source, but they come from God, right? So, and the goddess energy. I believe in both the God and the goddess energy, male and female. So they come from both. And I feel that it was like from then on, I just started to work with them all the time. And that's why my business is named under them as a tribute, because they're everything. They're like so important to me. So the first thing I would recommend if you're wanting to talk to your angels, try to get that book, Angelspeake by Barbara Mark. I know Doreen Virtue has a lot of good books on the subject, so she's a great source of you know, of wisdom and knowledge when it comes to the angelic realm. She also offers a lot of courses, I think, too, on how to talk to them and things of that nature, and CDs and audiobooks. So you may want to check her out. She's wonderful when it comes to that. I personally worked with Barbara Mark in terms of her books, and because back then Doreen Virtue wasn't known. It was just, she was just starting to come out, and that was the only book in the market on angels. So that was the book that I read, and I remember that. I will never forget that, how amazing that experience was, and how that book touched my life. It was absolutely amazing. So I would recommend, if you're wanting to talk to the angels, it's a very, very simple process. It's not complicated at all. All you have to do is set some time that you're free, that you're not going to be interrupted. You know, step one I would recommend is, you know, set your intentions for the time you're going to meet with them. Set some time to speak with them, and have questions that are simple. Very, very simple questions. Like, you know, that, like I asked, is he coming back? You know, something like that is very simple. And just be prepared to wait and listen to the images. You might get images that might come up. You might get words. You might get music. Anything that comes up in your mind, that is the angels that are trying to tell you something. So even smells, I still do today get smells. Like sometimes I'm doing something and I smell flowers, or some sort of beautiful smell comes up. I'm like, oh, this is the angels that are here. So I would also get that as well. So I would recommend highly that you do that and try to set that time and just listen to your angels. Listen to them, because they will tell you, they will help you. If you open your life to them, they will come in. And you will get images, and you have to be patient through this process, because sometimes you won't listen, you won't hear anything. So it's all about practice, and practice makes perfect, right? So it's about practicing every day or every other day, whenever you have a chance, setting those 20 minutes, half an hour, just for them, and see what they tell you. And just write everything down in a journal. All the things, all the images that you get. Anything that comes to mind, a word, a letter, a sound, a smell, a color, anything, write it down. That is them telling you something, okay? So that's what I would recommend. Very simple process. There's nothing majestic about it. There's nothing like that you have to do this and this. No, it's very simple. Light a candle, really, set the intention. Get a paper. I remember I wrote everything down. Everything was written down. And she recommends to write things down. So you can even write your question down and then just wait until the answer comes. And that's called automatic writing. So you're going to go ahead and start writing everything that they tell you. And it's amazing. I just highly recommend it. So that is what I would recommend. Another thing that I did and I started to do every month was write them a letter every month. Every month, at the end of the month, I will write them a letter of how the month went and what I wanted and what the wishes that I wanted to work on and what the goals I had and what I needed help with and what was I grateful for at that time. So I did that every end of the month, and I would burn my letter. I would just keep a copy of it and I would burn the original, and I would do that every time. So that is my recommendation. It's very simple. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. And I am in the process of creating a psychic development class myself for my Etsy shop. So I'm in that process right now. So if you're interested, let me know. And angel blessings. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Many blessings.